Okay, so in the foundation category, I have 10, which sounds like a lot, but a couple of them are almost gone. So first, I really like having different foundations because I like to just feel bougie and like feel like I have options. And I just really enjoy having them, and I really do use all of them, and it all kind of just depends on my mood and where I'm going and what I want to look like. So I have this BB cream for like lighter coverage days. I wouldn't say that it's a super light coverage though. It is really liquidy. So like I guess maybe I just apply too much because it just like strings out whenever like I put it on. And so I do get like a light to medium coverage when I use it. This one, the L'Oreal Total Cover, oh, by the way, this one is in the shade Nude. And this one, L'Oreal Total Cover, I have in the shade 302. And this is one of my favorite foundations. It's just really pretty and looks so natural on the skin. This Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Foundation Stick I have in the shade Natural Light, or Light Natural, Light Neutral. Sorry, but yeah. I would definitely not repurchase this. I actually ended up getting it for free because I just had an Ulta coupon that was like, oh, get a free thing, foundation stick with a purchase or something like that. So I just don't like it because I can't really layer powders on top of it, and I typically do that in my normal routine, and the powders just get really cakey, and I don't know, it just looks gross on my skin. So I really only use this if I'm not planning on putting powders on my face, but I have a lot of redness, because this is a really light shade, like super pale. So yeah, I only use this whenever I'm not planning on putting much makeup on at all, and I don't care that I look like a ghost. And this one is probably my oldest foundation of all of these, and I got this one about 3 years ago. I actually bought it because I dressed up as Harley Quinn for a date party, and I needed like a very light shade. So this is in the shade Porcelain, which is the lightest shade. It's W1. I actually really love that foundation. I actually usually mix it in with this e.l.f. one, and this one is in the shade Buff. And I just found that these two together are so beautiful, and I am running low on this one, so I'm actually going to be sad when it runs out. I am tempted to repurchase it, but just since I have so many, I don't really need to. But maybe later on down the road, if I want to do a throwback, I just love using these two together because I use this one to darken it up to make it more of my actual shade. And I have quite a bit of this one left, I guess, but I might just keep it. It says it's good for 6 months, and I've definitely had it for like 3 years. So I might need to throw it out, but I just like having it in case like I need to darken up a different foundation. This one, I splurged on this one. It was actually on a big sale. I got it on a day that Ulta was having a big sale on it. I don't know how much exactly I got it for, but it was definitely not the regular price. And this one I have in the shade Nude, and this one's actually more of my summer shade. I kind of regret doing that. I wish I would have gotten more of my all year round shade instead of my summer shade, but this summer I definitely want to get a lot more use out of that. And I do use this sparingly just because it's like my most expensive foundation. So I only use it on like special occasions, but I'm just gonna tell myself that it's okay, and I'm gonna use it this summer a lot more than I regularly would. This one is my newest one, and it's the Bare Minerals Bare Skin, and this one is in the second shade, which is Shell 02 and Bare Shell 02. And this one actually looks really yellow on my skin. Ideally, I would have gotten the lighter shade of it, but I actually found this at TJ Maxx, and this is the closest color they had to my shade, and I got it for $7, and I looked at Ulta the other day, and it was actually regularly $25. So I'm happy with this purchase. I just have to use like more of my color powders, I guess, to like make it look more my skin tone. But I do really love the way it applies, so if I had it in the right shade, I think I would enjoy it a lot more. And then this one is one of, like, literally my favorite foundation for whenever I go out dancing. because when I dance, I get super sweaty, and it just holds on through the sweat. I know that sounds kind of gross, but this is the best for that. So like I would wear this on like a really hot summer day, or if I just knew I was gonna be sweating a lot. It is like very full coverage, so I remember that Rach Loves said she didn't like this foundation because you could definitely see it sitting on her skin, and you could tell that it like wasn't her real skin. And I would say that's true, but then what else do you expect for a full coverage foundation, you know? So I would recommend getting this one, especially if you have like blemishes on your face or anything you want to cover up, because it's very full coverage and it's a good price. So I use this shade in the summer, and then this one for most of the year. And then this, they're in the shades 112 Natural Ivory and 220 Natural Beige. And then my last foundation is this Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. And this one's one of my newer ones as well. This was my second newest one. And this one is in the shade LC1. So this is actually the lightest shade they have. And I didn't really like the smell of it at first. It smelled a little bit like paint more than any of my other ones. But I really do like, I saw some YouTubers talking about it. Like I remember Kathleen Lights saying that she really enjoyed it, and I'm pretty sure Rachel Love said she really liked this. So I got it, and I do really love the way it makes my skin look. But of all of them, as far as like skin, I like the way that my Total Cover one is the best. And then I of course like the Born This Way, but I don't get to wear as much since it's summer shade. Okay, so for concealers, I have 5. Ideally, I'd like to get it down to just 2, but I'd be okay with maybe 3. This is my everyday one. It's the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, and I use shade C3 regularly. And then I also have shade C5, and I use this for like if I have a blemish on my face and I want it to be more of my actual skin tone, whereas this is more of a brightening one. And I have this e.l.f. one, and I would not repurchase this. I've had this for such a long time. I'm trying to get rid of it, but I just don't want to throw it away because it doesn't smell bad or anything. So on makeup days where I don't care about my makeup that much, I use this as my eye primer instead of my Urban Decay one, just because it's cheaper and, you know, does the job. So I like using this as a kind of a primer. This one I have had a very long time, but it doesn't smell bad, so I'm keeping it. And I just use this very seldomly for like if I have like a big red spot or something, and I would be okay with keeping this in my collection if I just had these 2 left, you know, just so I have a color corrector, because that's my only color corrector I really have. And then this one, I just don't like it as well as this one, and I don't know if it's the formula or the packaging. I just really love the packaging of this. It has such a big doe foot. And then this one, I'm not crazy about it, but I use it a lot on my friends, like if I do their makeup, and I need to make myself use this one up because it still has quite a bit left, and I just need to use it up. Okay, so now we're moving on to loose powders, and I have 4 in this category. The one I say I most use is the Coty Airspun because it's a translucent one, and it just kind of goes with every look, and I really like it. I really love this Fit Me one I got it in the shade Fair. I like it for when my foundation's too dark, and it really, or you know, like when I'm just using one of my darker foundations, because it's more of a contrast, it really, really brightens super well, and I would very much recommend this for brightening purposes. It works amazing. And these 2 are, sorry, my dog, she just thinks this is her area, but these 2 are okay, just a moment, sorry about that, I had to move my dog. But these 2 are definitely super old, and I just can't bring myself to get rid of them, because this one is in the shade Light Medium, and I like to use this for you know, I really don't use it. I probably haven't used it in like over a year, but then again, my roommate had a shade that looked funky on her, and she just needed something to like neutralize her foundation shade, and this was like the perfect solution. So I just can't bring myself to get rid of it because I was trying to see if it had an expiration, but I can't bring myself to get rid of it because I just see like it works so randomly, like you need it, like, and you know, I just don't want to, whatever. So, and then I also have this mineral veil, and I really don't ever use this one either. It's almost out. This was actually given to me as like a hand-me-down, I guess. Someone just kind of donated it to my collection, but I really love it. It's, I don't know, it has like kind of a glitter to it, and I remember I used to use it a lot in like junior high and high school, and people would tell me that I looked like my face was like glittery, which, you know, that's kind of more of a special occasion type thing for me now. I'm not really an everyday glitter kind of girl, but I just really love, I want to hold on to this. I don't know if I would recommend it, but I definitely would recommend these two. So, yeah. Okay, next category I'm going to get into is contour products, and I only have 2 of these, which I think is plenty. My go-to are these 2 shades in the NYX Highlight and Contour palette. I use these 2 shades in it for setting my eyeshadow, and so I use that pretty much every day. I don't get a lot of use out of this banana shade because I'm super fair, so banana just looks weird on me. And then this is a weird, I guess it's maybe supposed to be a highlight, but I don't see myself ever using the shade because it's just weird. This one is too orangey, but I do use this as a transition shade eyeshadow sometimes, and then I do use this to deepen up looks. It's not, I mean, it's clearly not eyeshadows, so they're not like as pigmented as some eyeshadows, but this one's great for transition shade, and then this one is good for like whenever I use my less pigmented eyeshadows and I just want kind of a washed out look. But anyway, this is probably one of my oldest products. This is, it says it's a bronzer, but I use it as a contour. This is, I've had this since like elementary school, and I have significant pan in it, but I don't want to throw it away because it's just kind of sentimental, and I don't see any reason in throwing it away because it still works well, and I'll probably get more use out of it.